After 18 months of silence, I am back, baby, and I am so excited. Can't wait to dive in here to something new. I'm pumped up about it. Winning Begins at Home. New podcast. I say new podcast. For those of you who listened before to the old Chasing Greatness podcast, we did I have 650 plus episodes of that. Spent a couple years on it, but we've shut it down about 18 months ago almost and focused more on building our company's podcast, the Lead Everyday Show. And so put that on pause. I'm going to call it a pause. The Chasing Greatness pause happened. We're coming back now with Winning Begins at Home. And so I am so excited about trying to help you, anybody who chooses to listen, trying to help you win outside of work. If you want to win at work, go check out that Lead Everyday Show. Mark Miller and I do that together. I think we got episode number 300 coming up here in a few days, and all kind of great stuff that we've used to try to help our companies that we serve. A lot of fun with that, all the speaking and coaching stuff that we do, consulting. It's good stuff. Our team gets to be involved in that. But one of the things that I'm passionate about is how do I help leaders outside of work? And let me just start from the very front and say, this podcast is not going to be about something as much as it's going to be for someone. And that someone is you. I dream of every single person being able to grow up in a great home environment. I know that's not happening around the world. I know it's not even possible in some places. There's so many hard circumstances out there, but it really is my heart. And I know when people grow up in a great place, they have a great family life, they've got a great life outside of work, it actually makes it better for them at work. It makes it better for them at home, everywhere they go. And so we're going to be putting some content out, trying to help people. Let me give you a little update here. Some people are like, why did you shut the other one down? I've had so many people ask me who were listening to Chasing Greatness, and I appreciate that. It was really cool. We had a bunch of people download that. I think over 250,000, they told me, which was fun. But we've been on this other road here the last few months, which has been awesome. But that podcast was so fun, just trying to help people maximize life really outside of work. And so we thought it would be good to do a refresh, a rebrand, and actually I wrote a book in the last 18 months called Winning Begins at Home. So that won't surprise you that's been important to me. If you've got a copy of the book, I hope you'll get a copy if you don't. We'll talk more about that at some point, but this is going to be way bigger than just marriage and family and parenting and any of those kind of things that are important to you. On a relational side, we're going to focus on some things, much like we did with Chasing Greatness, on how to win in all these other areas of your life, your finances, your fitness, so many things that I can't wait to dive into. We'll have some surprises. We'll have some guests. It's going to be a great journey together. But here's what I want to do today. I want to just spend a second here as we kick this thing off. We got new music. We got all kind of new stuff. But I want to ask you an old question. This question is, where are you? I think this is such a powerful question. It actually goes all the way back to the beginning of time. It's the second question that I can find, as old as history goes back. It's, I think, maybe the second question that was ever asked in the history of the world. And I say that because I actually am a Bible reader. I love to read the Bible, and I go all the way back to the Bible. This question is a question that God asked of Adam and Eve. Now, you may not be a Bible reader, but you probably have heard of Adam and Eve. And the Bible says they were the first man and the first woman, and they have eaten the forbidden fruit, if you know the story, and they're in trouble. And they decide we're going to try to hide ourselves. And so God shows up with this question. Here's the question. The question is, where are you? Now, you know for a fact, if there's a God, I believe there's a God, right? He created them. He knows exactly where they are. And yet he needs for them to admit where they are. And so I wanted to start with that question because I think that question is so powerful for anybody who chooses to listen. Where are you? What's really going on in your life outside of your work? I think so many times we find our identity in our work. We make work maybe even more than it should be. If we're not careful, we can begin to worship our work almost, and our job is everything. And your job is something, but it's not everything. And so if you find your identity in your work, I'm not sure that's going to work out great for you down the road. You're a person. You're so much more than just your work. Your work is important, but it's not the only thing. And so I want to just challenge you today to ask yourself that question. Only thing we're going to talk about today is, where are you? What's really going on? And I would encourage you to really give some thought to that. You might even take a few minutes, take a legal pad out, right at the top of it. Where am I? Where are you? That question is so powerful. Where am I today? And you might even add another word to it. Where am I really? Because I think sometimes we have this tendency to tell ourselves that we're maybe doing a little better than we are. And we know in the world we live in now, I think the latest statistics, a third of people are struggling with mental health or clinical stress or anxiety, some of those kind of things, emotional issues going on. And yet I think it's 3 out of 3. I don't think it's 1 out of 3. I think every single person, we have these places where we struggle. And so I want you to come back and join us for this conversation. I hope you'll do a couple things for me. I'm going to do every day the best I can to wake up and think about you and how can I add value to your life and your leadership and your family, whatever you have going on. But I want to ask you to do something for me. If you know of somebody who you think would benefit from these conversations that we have, I hope you'll share that. You always did before, especially those of you who are in the Chasing Greatness, I call them family. I hope you will continue to push this out and help us grow this, because really my heart is to, how many people can we help? It really, honestly, that we don't have to do this. It's just something that I'm passionate about. And if we can help one person get better outside of work, I think it's just going to make the world a better place. I love it when leaders get better. Every time any leader I've followed has gotten better, it always has been better for me. And when my leaders have struggled, I've always, you kind of feel the downward effects of that. And so let's do all we can to continue to make progress. But if we're going to make progress, we need to start where we are. So today, where are you? Identify that. Come back tomorrow. I've got a question that is going to maybe help you in your relationships that matter most. I think this question could be a question that really unlocks maybe some progress that you haven't felt in a long time. So I hope you'll join us for that. These episodes will be like the old Chasing Greatness. They'll be short, probably less than 10 minutes to start with, unless we have a conversation with somebody. We'll do some of that, but we'll try to give you relevant content every day. Where are you? You have to start where you are. You don't have to stay there, but you got to start there. Let's start with that question today. Come back tomorrow, and we'll continue to focus on winning beginning at home. Winning really does begin at home. I think if we can get that our head around that, we can start focusing on that. It actually can make us not just better at home, but when we go to work, all the things that we do. All right. I love you guys. I appreciate you being a part of this. And let's go make the world a better place.